Close your eyes and allow your breath to return to its most natural rhythm. Do not try to control it. And do not try to grasp anything. At this moment, the outside world, with all its worries, its noise, and even the burdens of a long day, is slowly fading away, giving way to a quiet space that gently surrounds your room. You are here, safe and sheltered. I would like to invite you to join me on a journey back to the most distant memory of humanity. A place where time had not yet existed as a measure of limitation. A place where darkness never carried the feeling of loneliness or fear. It is the Garden of Eden. But not as a land on any geographical map, it is a state of the soul. Where human beings and the silence of God blend together like a single breath. Imagine an endless twilight, where the light does not disappear but softly transforms into a honeygold glow, embracing every branch and every leaf. There is no concept of mistake, no self-judgment, and most importantly, no shame. This is the story of a place where human beings were never afraid of being seen. A space where your presence alone was everything needed to create perfection. In that garden, everything began with absolute silence. Yet it was not the silence of emptiness or the absence of sound. It was a fullness of silence. As if the entire universe were holding its breath to listen to the heartbeat of life rising within it. Imagine Adam and Eve walking across soft grass, their bare feet touching the cool earth without the need for caution or fear of harm. They did not need language to understand one another, nor long explanations to justify their existence. Between them and God there was no barrier, no veil. God in that garden did not appear through thunderous commandments or strict rules. His presence was felt in the gentle breeze brushing through their hair, in the fragrance of wildflowers just beginning to bloom, and in the compassionate stillness that embraced all things. His silence at that time was the highest expression of trust and freedom. Human beings did not need to ask questions because they themselves were already the answer. They did not need to search for meaning because living itself was meaning. In that silence, they felt completely accepted, a kind of acceptance without conditions, without the need to strive to become someone else. Allow yourself to feel that gentleness spreading through your body right now. The feeling that you do not have to do anything, that you do not need to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. At that time, the language of fear had not yet been born. Adam looked at Eve, and Eve looked at Adam. They saw each other completely, transparently, yet with perfect calm. They did not need clothing, not because of lack, but because they had nothing to hide. Awareness of the self had not yet been divided by comparison or by the standards of the world. God did not watch them like a judge, nor did he control their steps like a ruler. He was simply there, like a quiet presence, an invisible foundation supporting all life. The silence of God then was like the vast blue sky above them, so immense that one forgets it is there. Yet without it everything would become suffocating. Human beings lived within that silence with absolute trust, a surrender as natural as breathing. They did not question the future, nor regret the past, because in Eden there was only an eternal present. Every need was fulfilled before it could even become a desire. Every pain had not yet been named. Let your mind drift gently into that state, where silence is not distance but an embracing presence that holds you tenderly, guiding you into the deepest and most peaceful sleep. Then the rhythm of the story slows. Like a low note in the music of life, a soft whisper appears, not from a cruel enemy outside, but as a curiosity arising from deep within. Imagine that whisper carrying no threat, only a question. What if you knew more? What if you could see the world in your own way, rather than simply living within it? That was the moment when humanity first wished to step away from eternal silence to seek a voice of its own. God remained silent. He did not intervene with thunder, nor forbid with a voice of anger. He respected the freedom he had given so deeply that he accepted even the painful silence of watching humanity begin to step away from the innocence of his embrace. His silence now began to feel heavier, not because he had changed, but because the human gaze had begun to change. When you begin to question your own safety, when you begin to doubt your own completeness, that is when the garden first begins to cast shadows. Perhaps you have felt this in life, when a silence that was once peaceful suddenly becomes suffocating simply because the heart is filled with worry and restless thoughts. And then the climax of that transformation arrived, not through a dramatic action but through a subtle shift in awareness. Their eyes opened, yet they did not see greater wonders. Instead, for the first time they saw themselves as objects of judgment. They realized they were naked. Understand that this nakedness was not of the skin, but of the soul laid bare. For the first time, human beings felt that they were not enough. They felt fragile, and they felt the need to cover themselves. Shame was born in that moment. It was the desire to withdraw, to hide from the gaze of others, and especially from the gaze of God. The silence of God, which had once been a comfort, now became a terrifying judgment in their minds. They began to weave garments of fig leaves, just as we today weave garments of success, strength, and perfection to hide the fear and emptiness within. Fear was born together with self-awareness. We fear being seen through, fear being judged, fear that if someone truly knew who we are, they might no longer love us. This is the origin of every anxiety you carry in your heart when you lie down at night. In the stillness of that twilight, a voice called out, breaking the dense atmosphere of hiding. God asked, "Where are you?" Listen to this question deeply. It is not a question about geography. For how could a creator not know where his children are hiding among the trees? It is an existential question filled with sorrow. Where are you in your relationship with yourself? Where are you in your connection with me? The question carries no accusation. It has the tone of a father searching for a child who has become lost within his own home. Humanity had wandered away from innocence, away from the state of complete rest. When we feel guilty, when we feel unworthy, we often run from silence, because in silence we must face that call. But remember, the question, "Where are you?" still echoes every night, not to punish you for what you did or did not accomplish today, but to invite you to step out from the bushes of self-doubt and realize that no matter how you try to hide, you are always seen with an unchanging love. Thus the first night in human history descended. The Garden of Eden was still there. The rivers still flowed. The trees still whispered in the wind. And God had not left. Yet for humanity everything had changed. For the first time they knew the darkness of hiding. They no longer walked freely in the cool wind, but curled into themselves searching for places to conceal their fear. Distance had been created, not because God pushed him away, but because humanity carved a chasm within its own soul through self-judgment. Eden did not disappear. Humanity simply stepped away from the sense of safety that had always been its true nature. Do you feel that? Sometimes heaven is within reach. Even within our breath. But we are so busy worrying and blaming ourselves that we cannot feel it. Tonight, as you lie here, let those masks fall away. Let the garments of worry slip from your shoulders. You do not need to hide anymore. The true fall was not the act of eating a fruit, but the moment we lost the ability to remain in silence without fear. That is the root of modern anxiety. We constantly fill the emptiness with noise, work, and worries about the future because we are afraid to face ourselves in stillness. We fear the gaze of God, or perhaps the gaze of our own conscience. But think about this: God never left the garden. He is still there, patiently waiting in silence. His silence has never been a punishment, it is an open space. A wordless invitation for us to return to our purest state. Heaven is not somewhere far away after this life ends. Heaven is in the moment you stop running from yourself. The moment you accept the nakedness of your soul and realize that no matter what, you are always loved and protected. Now, as sleep slowly approaches, allow the image of the Garden of Eden to cover your mind. Feel the gentle breeze of the first days of the world passing through this room. No shame, no fear, no unanswered questions remain. Only you and the compassionate silence of the universe. You are part of that garden. And that garden has always lived within you. Perhaps sleep is the way we return to Eden every night, where all boundaries dissolve and we become once again the innocent child resting in the arms of eternal stillness. Let everything go, allowing your soul to drift freely into that nameless space. Silence is no longer frightening. It is the gentlest lullaby you have ever heard. Perhaps heaven is not after death. Perhaps it is in the moment we no longer need to hide from ourselves. And perhaps the silence of God has never been a punishment, but an invitation to return. Sleep deeply and peacefully in the embrace of Eden. If you found this video helpful, do not forget to press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And now, let the darkness cradle you gently. Very gently. Good night. Silence always carries a strange weight within it. It is not a meaningless emptiness but a dense presence filled with things not yet named. As you lie there, listening to your own breath blending with the stillness of the night, you may realize that this silence is the first and last language of the universe. We have spent so much of our lives fearing these quiet spaces. We rush to fill them with the noise of crowds, with the pounding rhythm of music, or with endless streams of thought about daily survival. But why are we so afraid of silence? Is it because in silence we have nothing left to cling to? No mask left to hide behind. And we are forced to face the truest version of ourselves. Deep within every human consciousness there seems to be a vague haunting fear of abandonment. The pain of someone expelled from a place of peace we call Eden. Yet if we look deeper into the nature of existence, we may see that this expulsion was not a sentence from the outside but a silent choice from within. We exile ourselves when we begin to believe we are not good enough. When we judge ourselves according to the standards of the world. And when we build walls separating ourselves from the source of life. Imagine a child. That child never feels ashamed of its body. Never worries about what tomorrow will bring. It simply exists in each moment with absolute trust in its parents. That is the state of humanity in the original garden. The child does not need to prove its value through work or achievement, because its value lies in its presence. As we grow up, we lose that innocent trust. We begin to wear garments of anxiety. We begin to calculate and compare. We forget that we have always been part of the garden, part of absolute beauty. Tonight, try to remove those garments within your mind. Let your soul be naked and free as it was in the beginning. You do not need to do anything to become worthy of love. Because love is the very nature of life itself. It is always there, surrounding you like the air you breathe. The silence of God, or the silence of the universe, is truly an immeasurable compassion. It is like a mother quietly sitting beside a cradle watching her child sleep. She does not need to speak. Yet her presence is the greatest assurance of safety. The universe is the same. It does not need to announce itself to confirm its presence. It exists in every leaf, every grain of dust, every distant star, and within the beating of your own heart. When you stop trying to understand everything with the dry logic of the mind, when you stop asking why and how, you will begin to feel this simple truth. All human suffering arises from trying to separate ourselves from the natural flow of life. We want to control, to possess, to define everything according to our own will. Yet life is wider and more mysterious than any definition. The Garden of Eden is not a geographic location that can be found on a map. It is a state of consciousness where the separate self dissolves into the whole. As you lie here, feel that dissolving. Do not try to hold on to thoughts of yesterday or plans for tomorrow. Let them drift away like clouds across the sky. You are not those thoughts. You are the vast sky that holds them. True peace arrives only when we stop fighting ourselves. When we stop trying to become someone else. Accept the person you are right now, with all your scars, sorrows, and imperfections. For it is precisely through those imperfections that the light of truth enters. There is a story that every crack in a clay pot is a place where light can shine through. Our souls are the same. The pain you have endured, the failures you have tasted, they do not make you less valuable. On the contrary, they make your existence deeper and richer. Heaven is not reserved for flawless beings. Because perfection is a dry and lifeless concept. Heaven belongs to those who can appreciate the fragility of life. Those who bow before the beauty of simplicity. Think of the moments when you stand before a radiant sunset or when you see a wildflower blooming by the roadside. In those moments your mind suddenly becomes quiet. All worries disappear, and you feel a mysterious connection with everything. That is when you are stepping into Eden. That connection has never disappeared. It has only been covered by the dust of habits and judgments. Tonight, allow sleep to wash away that dust. Let the darkness soothe the wounds you have hidden throughout the day. You are not alone in this journey. Every breath you take is nourished by the entire universe. Every atom in your body was born from distant stars. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. Not a human being searching for a spiritual one. When you realize this, the fear of death or disappearance fades away. For how could a drop of water vanish when it returns to the ocean? The silence you feel now is that ocean, vast, deep, and full of life. Do not fear feeling small before it. For within that smallness lies true freedom. Freedom from expectations. Freedom from the burdens of the false self. Allow this stillness to guide you deeper into the memory of the soul, where time does not exist and only pure presence remains. Do you remember the feeling of complete safety? It is the feeling that no matter what happens, you will be all right. This peace does not come from everything outside unfolding according to your wishes. It comes from an inner trust that you are an essential part of the great design of life. The fall of humanity, if there was one, was simply forgetting this trust. We began to live like orphans in a universe overflowing with love. We struggle, we accumulate, we worry because we believe resources are limited. But in the garden of consciousness, resources are endless. Love, peace, and joy are not things to search for outside. They are springs that flow from within. If you pause, if you become silent, you will hear the gentle sound of that spring. Let that quiet sound lull you into sleep. Let it wash away the dust of the world. You are here in this room. Yet your soul can travel anywhere. Let it return to the green garden where ancient trees spread their cool shade and clear streams flow across moss-covered stones. There is no concept of sin. No division between right and wrong. Only the complete harmony of life. You are the breath of that garden. You are the sparkling light upon the water of the stream. Do not try to analyze these words with a dry mind. Feel them with your heart. Your heart knows this truth more deeply than any theory. It knows that you belong here. That you belong to this stillness. When you sleep, your body rests but your soul remains awake to guard that peace. It is the gatekeeper of the Eden within you. Trust it with all your worries. Trust that when you wake tomorrow, you will be renewed, fresh and alive like morning dew on leaves. Life is not a battle for survival but a dance between the visible and the invisible. Tonight that dance is slowing, becoming more rhythmic and deeper. Silence is not an ending. It is the beginning of a new understanding, that you have never truly been outside the embrace of the Creator. No matter what name you give Him, His presence is always there in every heartbeat, in every cell of your body. He does not judge you for your mistakes, because He sees the sacred essence within you that even you sometimes forget. The nakedness of Adam and Eve after eating the forbidden fruit was not a shame that needed to be hidden by fig leaves. It was an awakening to individuality. Yet that individuality is only a vehicle through which we experience this world. It is not the final destination. The destination is a return to unity, where the self melts into the greater whole. Sleep is a rehearsal for that return. Each night we release our identity, our work, our status, and our relationships to return to the pure state of being. No longer a director, a worker, a father, or a mother. In sleep you are simply a living soul resting in the arms of the universe. And that is the most joyful state. Because it demands nothing from you. It asks only that you let go. Let go of the invisible threads binding your mind. Let go of fears about the future and regrets about the past. Allow the present moment to embrace you completely. This present moment is the only heaven we truly possess. If you can find peace here in this dark room, you can find it anywhere. The silence now is like a mirror reflecting the stillness within your soul. Do not turn away. Look deeply into it. You will see a wordless beauty, an unshakable peace. That peace is your inheritance, your birthright as a human being. We often think we must travel far, practice severe discipline, or achieve lofty states to touch heaven. But heaven is only one breath away. It lies in the space between two thoughts. In the moment you smile gently at your own pain. Allow the compassion of the night to cradle you. Darkness is not the enemy of light. It is the womb that nurtures light. From the deep darkness of the void the first light of the universe was born. And from the stillness of sleep the energy of a new day will arise. You are being healed right now by this powerful silence. Every tension in your muscles is slowly releasing. Every line of worry on your forehead is fading. You are becoming light, like a dry leaf drifting upon calm water. No gravity of responsibility, no pressure of expectations remains, only absolute freedom. Imagine walking through the Garden of Eden at sunset, when golden light slowly sinks behind green hills. The air is filled with the fragrance of strange flowers, and the distant songs of birds give way to the soft murmurs of insects. The ground beneath your feet feels warm and soft. A gentle breeze touches your skin like the hand of a loved one. You do not need to go anywhere. You have already arrived. This place has always belonged to you, and you have always belonged to it. The silence of the garden is the warmest welcome. It says, "Welcome home." After wandering, after losing your way, you have found the path back to yourself. Do not fear the darkness surrounding you, for within that darkness God is smiling. His silence is an assurance that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You do not need to fix the world, and you do not need to fix yourself. You only need to be present and feel. That pure sense of presence is the key that opens the gate of Eden. When you stop judging, the garden appears. When you stop running, you discover that you have been standing at its center all along. Let this truth sink into every cell, every vein of your being. You are a miraculous creation, a unique expression of life. No one else is exactly like you, and no one can take your place in this garden. Your existence is a gift to the universe, and your peace is a contribution to the peace of the world. When you sleep well, you make the world more beautiful, because you bring stillness to a small part of it. Allow your soul to open to the gifts of the night, restoration, creativity, and transformation. Sometimes in dreams we glimpse flashes of heaven, visions of a world without suffering where love is the only law. Those dreams are not illusions. They are reminders of our true nature. We are citizens of Eden temporarily visiting this earth to learn compassion and understanding. When night falls, we are allowed to return to recharge, to remember who we are. Do not let the noise of the daytime world make you forget the melody of your soul. That melody is very soft. It can only be heard in absolute silence. It is the lullaby of the earth, the whisper of the stars. It tells you to sleep, to rest, because everything already has its place. You do not need to carry the world upon your shoulders. Let the universe do that for you. You only need to be yourself, a small being that carries an entire sky within. Silence is not distance. It is the closest connection you can have with the source. In silence there is no boundary between you and me, between humanity and nature, between the finite and the infinite. Everything merges into a wordless symphony. Let that symphony resonate within your mind now. Feel its gentle vibration spreading through your body, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Every cell is bathing in a stream of peace. You are drifting into the realm of beautiful dreams where the impossible becomes possible, where you can soar like birds and dive like the creatures of the deep ocean. It is a world of boundless freedom where Eden is no longer a distant memory but a living reality. Close your eyes and feel the warmth of protection surrounding you. You are loved, you are cherished, and you are safe. Nothing can harm you in this kingdom of stillness. Darkness is the curtain that protects you, and silence is the wall that shelters you. Release your final breath of control and allow yourself to fall into the embrace of sleep. Heaven is here, in the slow rhythm of your heartbeat. You no longer need to search for it. You are it, a being of light resting within the darkness. A soul of Eden present in the human world. Sleep deeply, so that tomorrow when you awaken you will see the world with the eyes of a child. Eyes that behold the beauty of the original garden for the very first time. The silence of God has always been an invitation, and tonight you have had the courage to answer it. Let this peace guide you through the pathways of dreams until the morning light returns and reminds you that every day is another chance to live again in Eden. Sleep peacefully. Rest completely in the compassion of the universe. You deserve every good thing. And this peace is the first gift given to you. Good night, my companion on the journey back to the source. Let everything drift away until only silence and love remain. When darkness fully settles in and silence begins its dance within this room, I want you to come with me even deeper, into another layer of existence. We have spoken about letting go, about finding Eden in the breath. But now, let your mind widen like an endless field beneath silver moonlight. Have you ever wondered why we fear stillness so much? Perhaps it is because, in that stillness, our temporary self has nowhere left to cling to, our titles, our achievements, even the pains we use to define ourselves begin to melt like ice meeting the warmth of the sun. Yet it is in that melting that your true nature begins to appear. It is like taking off a heavy suit of armor after a long, unending war, and finally feeling a cool, clean wind touch your skin. Stillness is not a meaningless void. It is a fullness of being. It is the binding force that holds all things together. Imagine standing before a lake that is perfectly calm at dawn. Smooth as a mirror. The surface does not judge the sky. It simply reflects the beauty of clouds, sunlight, and the wings of birds passing overhead. Your soul is the same. When it becomes still, it becomes a mirror that reflects the full splendor of the universe. You do not have to try to become extraordinary, because your very presence is already an unmatched miracle. Feel the heaviness of your eyelids. Your body is telling you it wants to return every burden to the earth. The Mother Earth is always ready to receive everything, from tired footsteps to heavy thoughts. You are not alone on this journey. Every breath you exhale is an exchange with the grasses, the green forests, the vast ocean. We are part of this great web of life. And in sleep, that connection becomes stronger than ever. You are returning to your most original state, where there is no separation between inside and outside. Notice the warmth spreading from your chest into your limbs. That is the flow of life, the energy of pure love the universe is giving you. This love asks for nothing, demands no conditions. You do not have to do anything to deserve it. It is simply there, surrounding you the way water surrounds a fish. When you sleep, you are learning how to trust completely in that flow. You trust that tomorrow the sun will rise again. You trust that your heart will keep beating in its steady rhythm without the mind's supervision. That trust is the key that opens the gate of Eden. Let your mind wander through the forests of memory, but do not stop in the thorny bushes of regret or the swamps of worry. Choose only the shaded paths of gratitude. Gratitude for these hands that have worked. Gratitude for these feet that have carried you across so many miles. Gratitude that this heart still has the courage to tremble before beauty. Every experience in your life, bitter or sweet, has been a teacher, arriving to teach you compassion. Now, as night descends, say goodbye to those teachers with a quiet smile in your mind. You have learned today's lesson. Now it is time to rest. Imagine a lotus flower slowly closing within your soul. Each petal is a thought, a worry, a plan. As the lotus closes completely, Only a shining jewel remains at its center. That jewel is peace that belongs to you alone, a place no disturbance from the outside world can reach. You are sinking deeper, deeper into a dark blue space of perfect ease. Here, time no longer exists the way we understand it. There is no past to hold, no future to wait for, only the eternal moment of peace. You are like a drop of water dissolving into the ocean, not losing your essence, but discovering the strength of the infinite. Listen to your breath. It sounds like waves murmuring against the side of a boat drifting gently on an empty sea. That boat is carrying you toward the horizon of dreams, where light never goes out and sorrow never comes to visit. Do you feel the lightness seeping into every fiber of your body? That is your ego beginning to loosen its grip, no longer trying to control everything around you. Control is a weight we have carried too long. It exhausts us and blinds us to simple beauty. When you release control, you begin to see the beauty of chance, of a brilliant arrangement guided by an invisible hand. The universe has its own rhythm, and when you sleep, you are joining that rhythm. Do not fear the dark. Darkness is the womb of creation, where new ideas are planted and wounds are healed. In the dark, the eyes of the soul begin to open. You will see colors you cannot see in the day. You will hear sounds that noise has buried. It is the song of guardian angels, the whisper of ancestors blessing you. They stand around your bed, smiling, protecting your sleep so it can be whole and complete. You are sheltered by a power greater than every difficulty you are facing. Let that protection soften the sharp corners of your mind. Every conflict, every injustice you felt today, let it dissolve like smoke. It does not belong to you. It is only a passing guest in the inn of your soul. You are the owner of this house. And tonight, the owner needs rest to welcome a new dawn. Imagine yourself lying on soft grass in a valley full of fragrant flowers. The scent of wild herbs, damp earth, and night-blooming blossoms soothes your senses. Above you, the sky is filled with shimmering stars, each star a promise of hope. You feel small beneath the vast universe. And yet you also feel deeply important, because you are an essential piece of this great picture. Without you, the universe would not be complete. Let that thought give you a quiet confidence and a deep comfort. You do not need to prove your worth to anyone, because your existence is already the strongest proof. Sleep is drawing nearer. It is like a gentle fog settling over your mind, softening the edges of reality and opening the gates of imagination. Let yourself fall into that fog. Do not resist. Do not try to hold on to a single thought. Let them pass like summer clouds. You are becoming lighter and lighter, so light you could lift from the earth and glide over the treetops. You are entering a land of freedom, where every limit of the physical body dissolves. There, you may speak with those you have lost, return to the houses of childhood, or stand on the highest mountains in the world. Dreams are God's gift to human beings, so we never forget that we come from something sacred. That is where Eden truly exists, not as a location on a map, but as a state of consciousness. When you sleep with a peaceful heart, you are truly living in Eden. Let the warmth of love flow into every finger and toe. Feel complete relaxation in every joint. No tension, no bracing. You are simply being, pure, beautiful existence. Tell yourself, everything will be okay. You did very well today. You deserve this rest. Tonight, let the stars keep watch over your dreams. Let the moon gently touch your face. You are sinking into a sleep without dreams, or if dreams come, they will be dreams of healing and restoration. Every moment you spend asleep is a moment you are renewed, recharged for the path ahead. But for now, do not think about tomorrow. Tomorrow is another story, an unwritten page. Stay here, right now, in this sweet, absolute silence. This silence is the language of God, and you are listening with your whole heart. Let it seep into every cell, washing away the dust of the world, leaving your soul clear as crystal. You are drifting into endless space, where there is only peace and gentle light. No machinery, no arguments, no crowd noise, only the deep pulse of the universe, beating in rhythm with your own heart. You are coming home, the true home of the soul, where there is no pain and no tears. Release completely and let yourself be held by invisible hands. You are safe, you are loved, and you are sleeping deeply. As deep as the ocean floor, yet warm as the breath of spring. Let every memory of exhaustion fade, until only the presence of eternal peace remains. Your sense of the body begins to dissolve, and all that remains is a small point of light, tiny, yet radiant, floating in the dark. That is your core, the part of you that is never born and never dies. It is immortality inside the finite. Rest in that knowing. You are part of the whole, and the whole is smiling at you tonight. This stillness is not loneliness, it is the deepest communion. You are in the presence of the highest thing, and it is telling you, sleep, child of Eden. Every worry has been untied, every debt has been cleared. Tonight, you are a free soul, unburdened, unresentful. Let sleep carry you to green pastures and clear waters, where you can drink life at its source. You are sinking into absolute stillness, creative stillness, where everything begins and everything ends. This is the universe's 0 point, where peace is the only reality. Melt into it without hesitation, without fear. You are protected by ancient laws of the universe, laws of love and balance. Nothing can break your peace. Feel a pure vibration spreading through you, soothing every hidden corner of the soul. You are becoming one with the night, one with the stars, one with eternity. Your sleep is a deep meditation, a return to your truest self. Let your breathing be free, like wind moving through pine trees, like water running through stone. You do not have to try to breathe, the breath comes to you as a gift of life. And in every breath, you receive life from the very source of Eden. Let this stillness wrap around you like a soft cocoon, preparing your soul's transformation at sunrise. But for now, be only the cocoon, quiet and peaceful in the sheltering darkness of the long night. You are going deeper into the center of rest, where even dreams grow quiet. This is the land of complete stillness, where all movement pauses to make room for pure being. You are there, held in endless compassion. Sleep. Let your soul fly freely through the space of limitless peace. Everything around you is an expression of love, from the warmth of the blanket to the hush of the room. You are surrounded by healthy, gentle energies. Let them soak into you, healing hidden wounds and filling empty spaces within. You are precious, and tonight the universe is giving you all of its tenderness. Do not rush. Let sleep come as naturally as dusk after a long day. You are drifting into purity, where the personal self fades and only the flow of shared consciousness remains. This is true rest, the rest of a warrior who has laid down the sword, the rest of a traveler who has found harbor. Let this peace sink into your bones, renewing your spirit and your body. You are in perfect harmony with everything. No resistance, no struggle, only trusting surrender. Let tonight's stillness become a lullaby for your soul, carrying you across the ocean of thought to the island of peace. There, the light is always gentle, and the air is filled with the fragrance of holiness. You are very close to the enlightenment of sleep, where every question finds its answer in silence. Do not search anymore, do not demand anymore, simply be a quiet presence in the heart of night. You are the peace you have been seeking. Eden is not far away, it is here. In this letting go, sink deep, very deep into the Mother Earth, where life begins and where life returns to rest. You are sleeping under heaven's protection, and heaven is smiling in your sleep. The silence of God is no longer a frightening mystery, it is a warm embrace holding you completely. Let your breath merge with the breath of the night, soft, steady, full of trust. You are returning to the source, where all things are one, where love is breath and peace is heartbeat. Sleep, little soul, for you are resting in the heart of the universe. Nothing can disturb this serenity. Darkness is simply light veiled so you can rest. Silence is the sound of wholeness. You are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do, resting and being reborn in infinite love. Let this sleep be a journey back to the original light, where you will see that you never truly left Eden. You have only closed your eyes so you can see the eternal beauty of yourself more clearly. Stillness is singing to you, and you are fading gently into its sacred melody. Every cell is smiling, every thought has dissolved into sparkling stardust. You are sleeping, sleeping the sleep of freedom and true happiness. Let tonight be a new chapter of healing, so you awaken with a heart full of light and a soul fresh as morning dew. But now, sink into stillness, sink into compassion, sink into yourself. Good night, in Eden's arms. At this moment, sleep is no longer merely a biological state of the body, it has truly become the most sacred spiritual ritual of human life. As your eyes close and the final burdens of consciousness are released, you step into a realm where time loses meaning and space has no borders. Imagine that each breath is now a gentle wave washing against the shore of your subconscious, erasing the footprints of worry and the scars of painful memory. You are standing at the threshold of a great transformation, where the small self dissolves into the vast we of the universe. The stillness now is not a vague emptiness, but a fullness of healing energy, a kind of divine honey pouring over every nerve that has been tense all day. You feel warmth spreading from your heart through your limbs, as if you are wrapped inside a cocoon of pale golden light, shielding you from every motion of the outside world. Within that shelter, you feel as light as a strand of sky silk, floating among the clouds of perfect peace. No pressure can reach you. No responsibility can hook its fingers into your heels. You have completed the mission of this day, and now it is time for the universe to do its part. The universe will nourish you. It will repair the places inside you that have been wounded, and it will refill the energy that has run low. Trust this process the way a flower trusts the night to gather dew for the morning. You do not have to do anything. Simply be present, and allow yourself to dissolve. This dissolving is not disappearance. It is a return to your most original essence, untouched by the judgments or fears of the world. Look into the darkness behind your eyelids and you will see it is not a thick blackness, but a sky of glittering stars, endless possibilities. Each small point of light is a beautiful dream. A new hope waiting to sprout when you wake. But for now, do not reach for anything. Let it all float by like iridescent clouds across your inner sky. Ease is soaking into your muscles, calming dull aches and loosening the knot.